week or so is that while whales and everyday normal people are accumulating all the time, no one's really selling. The price movements that you typically see if there's a movement down in Bitcoin's price on any given day, it's people who are trading Bitcoin. If the price has gone up by 16,000, they may be trying to take profits, but then they quickly buy everything back up again, or actually more than they had before because of the profits that they made. Normal people in the cryptocurrency space aren't giving up their Bitcoin at all. The idea is that the narrative is currently, A, no one wants to be the pizza guy, the guy who spent 10,000 Bitcoin on 2 pizzas. That's now worth, I think, billions of dollars. You would be very, very sad. And 2, Bitcoin has this idea around it that at some point it is going to hit $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million. So even a lot of times when I talk about it on here, if you really drag the time frame out, if you say it's 2023 and Bitcoin's price is X and everyone's expecting Bitcoin's price to be this on the year 2024, 2025, I said before, where does that leave us for 2028, 2029? 2032, 2033, how high is the price going to be? It's expected to be over $1 million at that point. Where does that lead us for the year 2040, 2048? How high is Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin over $100 million per coin? And it's kind of one of those situations where you're like, well, I put X amount of money into the market. I wait 10 years and now I have essentially $100 million. You don't want to be like, yeah, I found a really cool pair of shoes that I stopped wearing after 6 months. Yeah, that's where all my Bitcoin went. So Michael Saylor recently went on to Twitter and was basically asking people what's your number? When do you plan on actually using your Bitcoin? Recently, Michael Saylor, the founder of MicroStrategy, the company that's buying up all the Bitcoin constantly, and he's kind of a Bitcoin maximalist at this point, took to social media to gauge the crypto community sentiment on the future price of Bitcoin. Saylor, who has transitioned from CEO to head of MicroStrategy, went on Twitter and said, how high will Bitcoin need to rise before you would consider selling a small portion of your Bitcoin? This question, aimed at understanding the threshold that might trigger selling decisions, garnered extensive attention, with 122,000 people responding. That's insane. 122,839 people responded. The answers, revealing the mindset of the Bitcoin community, range from moderate to extremely bullish sentiments. The survey results painted a fascinating picture at the community's outlook. While a minority of respondents, around 18% and 14%, said that they plan on selling or getting rid of or relinquishing some of it between $250,000 and $500,000. A significant portion of the community leaned a lot higher. Notably, 36% of 122,000 people said they will not be getting rid of their Bitcoin until it's over $1 million, and or said that they will never be selling. Now, to understand the never selling portion of it, it's not that they would never, ever sell their Bitcoin. It's that you would at some point begin to simply use your Bitcoin. We've seen, as I said before, a number of companies starting initiatives to allow people to be able to use their crypto. The idea is that in the future, we can already, with jumps and hurdles, pay for everything with crypto. You have to find the right website. You have to find the right this. You have to get a gift card. But in the future, everything will be payable with crypto in some form. So at the $1 million point range, you've basically become a millionaire. And then at that point, you can kind of just you would be using fractions or portions of your Bitcoin. It has nothing to do with selling your Bitcoin back onto the market. The idea of a $1 million Bitcoin is other fiat currencies have actually nearly half the planet has bent the knee at that point, and they're like, okay, we have to acquire and or use Bitcoin, highlighting a strong belief in Bitcoin's long-term value. Additionally, and this shocked me, Additionally, 30% of people said that $100,000 is their selling point. Now, I'll say it this way, and it's not even about being nice. It's more of it is abundantly obvious that Bitcoin is going to go over $100,000. I don't know who needs to hear that, who is, clutching their pearls right now in shock. Bitcoin is going to go over $100,000. The fact that anyone would be willing to sell at that point, to me, almost seems like a joke or a little bit insane. Simply because you sell at 100K, it dips to 94, and then goes back up to 120,000 in like 7 or 8 days. So you've kind of gained nothing. It's, everyone has their selling number, their selling point. We're going to go over that sometime in the future as well. But to say like 100,000 is that's like saying Ethereum's previous all-time high was, I think, 4,800. That's like saying, well, like when Ethereum gets to 6,000, I'm done, I'm gone. And it's like, it's going up to 6,500. That 7,800 is happening for Ethereum. I dare not say 10, 12, 15,000, but I was quite shocked, like 30%. But I mean, this is also, these are the moments where the people who don't look further ahead extrapolate down the line to the 2032s and to the 2040s. I know it's a long time in the future, but time does continue. These people who don't look forward, they sell early. And then eventually at some point in the future, Bitcoin hits $500,000. And these are the people who get upset and go, well, why, I don't have, why don't I have enough? Why do they have so much? And it's like, well, you sold really, really, really early. Anyway, yeah, I was quite shocked at a lot of these numbers, especially 122,000 people. That's an extreme amount of number to actually answer a question. I think realistically, a lot of people would begin to get jittery around $250,000 to $500,000. But regardless of what happens, I kind of think this is going to be our last normal cycle. I think whatever ends up getting sold onto the market, if 93% of all Bitcoin is in the hands of the wealthy, I think any selling that happens now, especially if you open the doors to billions of other people through ETFs and other institutional and banking adoption, all that stuff that gets sold is just going to be gobbled up by these banks. And, I think this is our last normal cycle for kind of like normal people. I think after this, like the cat's out of the bag. Everyone knows what crypto is.